Hey, more people are going to see the Arch now than have in years, probably because it's the last time you're going to see it as it is, as it transforms before our very eyes. To get an update on what's going on with the City Arch River project is City Arch River 2015 Foundation Communications Director and good friend of the show, Ryan McClure. Ryan, welcome back.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Let's get to the open house. What's going on with the open house?
So on November 10th, so that's Monday,
Okay.
from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Ballpark Hilton on Broadway downtown, we're going to have an open house where we're going to just kind of show folks the updated design for Kiener Plaza, or the proposed design. So we want to get folks input on that.
Right.
So Kiener Plaza, as you all know, it's a very important space in downtown St. Louis for civic gatherings.
Right.
We want to bring it to its full potential.
So the Kiener Plaza portion of this isn't settled yet.
No, I mean what we're in right now is what's called schematic design. So that's one step in the design process. So once you get through schematic design, usually you'll go with a project like this. You'll go get public input.
Gotcha.
So that's what we're doing right now. So it's not. It's certainly not complete, and that's why we want to bring this to the public now and say,
Right.
what do you think? Are we meeting the goals we're out to get here?
How far down does Kiener Plaza go?
So Kiener Plaza is bordered on the eastern side by Broadway, Chestnut to the north, Market to the south, and then 7th Street to the west. So it's right in front of the Peabody building there. So it goes from Peabody building to the old courthouse.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so good 2 full blocks,
Yeah,
if you
it's
will.
2 square city blocks.
Right. And, go ahead.
What are some of the general ideas that you guys plan to do with it?
Sure. So general ideas, we've got a playground in the design. We've got an open event lawn where you could have concerts, festivals, show movies right in front of the old courthouse. We've got shade gardens for those hot St. Louis summers. You can get some relief there. We've got interactive water features, which I'm really excited about because kind of like the ones that have been so popular in City Garden,
Right.
where kids at heart could go and play in the water features.
Yeah.
And then we've got a bike parking grove and space for a future visitor center should we build one there.
Any room for a softball field on those two blocks?
I know that softball field is it. You're
trying.
pushing hard for it.
I'm trying.
Not in those 2 blocks, but I mean it's going to be a great open civic gathering space.
Yeah. Okay. So this is this.
Probably do some online feedback sessions later
Right.
on, but to come in person, it would be Monday 4 to 7 p.m. at the Ballpark Hilton.
At the Ballpark Hilton.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Also news that you cut down all the trees around the Arch grounds.
Well, yeah, we're on our way to cutting a lot of them down.
Right.
There's about 1,800 trees on the grounds now, and we need to cut down 800 ash trees because of the emerald ash borer, and just those trees have reached the end of their mature life cycle.
Right.
So they're being cut down, and then we're all told on the grounds there's about 1,200 that are being cut down. But once we're done, so there's 1,800 there now. Once we're done, there will be 4,100.
And what are you going to replace the ash trees with?
The ash trees will be replaced with the London plane tree, which is a hardy, urban, disease-resistant tree that's been successful in all kinds of cities
Right.
around the country and around the world. So we're very confident this tree is going to thrive in this environment. Plus, we're doing all of this sustainable, putting all these sustainable practices and good soil into the ground. So it's going to be a much better environment for those trees.
You said those ash trees never should have been planted in the first place, right? Or wasn't necessarily the right tree for the right environment.
Well, it's not that it wasn't the right tree for the environment. I mean, one of the things that has really kind of set these trees behind from the very beginning is they were planted on fill. So, they knocked all the buildings down in by 1942.
Right.
And those foundations and bricks and everything, it's still down there. So they were planted on fill, not good soil. They were they're planted in these tree pits that confine the root growth. And those trees aren't great in high pollution environments, like
Right.
an urban downtown area. So
Sure.
they had a lot of things going against them.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? So you're going to remove all those trees,
Yeah.
and what will they become? You're not going to give any of the.
You're not going to give them to me.
I know he's already been talking about that.
Would that we could. I wish we could, McGraw. But we put a lot of research into how can we reuse these trees? How can we upcycle them? And in the end, what we found was most of those trees are not eligible to be planed because of the caliper size. They haven't grown as much as they should have been.
Right.
Should have. And the few trees that could have been planed, it would have been a high cost for us to go through that process, move them, transport them.
Sure.
And it just wasn't a good use of taxpayer money because that's public funding that's doing that part. So
Sure.
the responsible thing to do was to mulch them, which we're doing. So all of those trees will be reused as mulch, and they'll go to nourish other trees and landscaping in the region.
Overall, how's the project coming?
It's going great. I mean, if you're downtown, you can see it's happening. There's
Right.
a lot of progress. The park over the highway structure is almost done, which means then we move on to landscaping. So you'll actually see the trees and the soil and the grass starting to go in there. So I mean that's in place. The grounds are under construction right now, and the riverfront. Great Rivers Greenway is almost done with the southern section of that, so
Wow.
that'll be open, and then they'll in December, and they'll move on to the north side.
When do you start digging the new entrance in the middle of that field?
Yeah, so that's scheduled to start in spring of next year.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it'll be about a 40-foot deep hole right there in the middle section of the grounds.
And if you're ever going to find some ruins or
That's
some
a good
plates
time.
or some pottery, that's probably the best place you're going to find it, right?
Yeah, I mean that would be one of the places I would guess that we would find. So, and we've got archaeological monitoring on board to make sure
Right.
that we're doing the right things if we were to find something like that.
Okay, so we need to know Monday at the Ballpark Hilton from
Right.
4 to 7.
Yes.
Public input for what's going to go happen at Kiener Plaza.
That's exactly right. We want folks to come out, tell us what they think of this new design.
And then we can always find information at cityarchriver.org.
Correct.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
All right. And the arch is open.
The arch is open. Come visit us.
And that beard is a little longer. What's going on with that
Well,
beard?
it's getting cold, so I have to keep my face warm.
All right, there you go.
I like it.
Ryan McClure, ladies and gentlemen, friend of the show. He's the City Arch River 2015 Foundation Communications Director and a friend of the show. Have a good week, Ryan.
Thanks, McGraw and Kelly. Appreciate it.